Next item on our agenda is treasurer's recommendations and reports. And Mrs. Lane, before you get started on that, could we circle back to the question that we had earlier about the projects that we have listed and what financial impacts will that have? What could we expect?
Well, I think there's more work to be done as far as cost associated with these items. Just looking over a few of those, we do have our maintenance fund that we're allowed to use some dollars, a small percentage of those dollars that may be able to be used for some of these, especially the Compass qualifies because it's the new building. That money is to be used on the new buildings especially, but those costs we may be able to take out of that other fund. It may not all fall into general fund, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
But again, from what Joe, what we talked about a little bit is we need to get more accurate pricing before we know the full effect, and that should be coming as we do projects.
Okay.
But when I give the update to the forecast in May, we'll have a better idea of what those are going to be.
Okay.
And
That's
I can
great.
give you a better answer then, too.
And then when those items come up, would you also be able to earmark which ones could come out of what funds and
Sure.
what that's going to mean for
Sure.
us? Great.
Can do that.
Thank you. Okay, now you can start your,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Mr.
Sorry for bypassing you
No,
before.
no, that's fine.
Okay,
I'm flexible.
all right.
Mr. Birding, members of the board, I have for your consideration tonight the following items. Letter A is recommend approval of the minutes of the February 20th, 2020 regular meeting and the March 5th, 2020 regular work session meeting. Letter B is recommend approval of financial reports for the month of February 2020. Letter C is recommend approval of the 2019-2020 amended appropriations resolution. Letter D is recommend approval of the following donations. Our first donation is $100 from Mrs. Belina Shorter to the Fairfield Central Elementary School for purchase of books for students. Second donation is a donation of fried rice valued at $100 from Sawaski Thai Cuisine and sushi to Fairfield Central Elementary School to be used for their multicultural night. Total donations for 2020 is $14,003. Letter E is recommend approval of the disposal of fixed assets as listed. And letter F is recommend approval of the resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. The county auditor's estimate of tax rates to be levied include the bond retirement fund at 4 mills, general fund at 53.51 mills, and our permanent improvement maintenance fund at a half mill. Total millage is 58.01 mills. And that concludes my items tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Lane. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve those recommendations.
So moved. Second?
Second.
Heard Mrs. Shorter and Mrs. O'Neill second before Mr. Bagley got there. Any questions or comments from the board? I just want to thank Mrs. Shorter again for reaching into her pocketbook to help our students. It's very kind of you. Thank you. Mrs. Lane, will you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Shorter?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Gundrum?
Yes.
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Mr. Birding?
Yes, motion passes.